Thank you so much for listening to PoliticalStorm.com. I'm John Small. Today, we're going to actually be visiting with, I'm so excited that we had the opportunity to do this. We're going to be visiting with Donald Trump. We got him on the line. Donald, are you there?
Absolutely, John. I'm so excited to be on your show, I have to tell you. But listen, I think you know I'm a marketing genius. I think you know that, right?
Definitely.
And I think the first thing we need to do is change your name to Biggs. It's going to be John Biggs because you're huge, my friend. We've got to get you off of the smalls and onto the bigs. And that's a free one. That's a free one. See, I'm making America great again, and I'm not even elected. It's incredible.
That is awesome. And now this campaign so far has been really fun to watch from the sidelines. What has it been like to be the one in the spotlight and all eyes on you? What has that been like, Mr. Trump?
Well, honestly, that's been my entire life. My entire life, everyone's been looking at me and looking to me. And now I'm finally on a platform where I can make really incredible changes, like the wall along the southern border. By the way, a lot of people know it's going to be called the Trump Wall or the T-Wall. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. 2,000 miles, 55 feet high. And a lot of people don't know this, John. A lot of people don't know this. But I'm putting a spectacular Trump hotel on top of the wall. And all of the windows are only going to face the American side.
That's awesome.
Really, really incredible. And on the Mexican side, painted over and over again, is going to say, "You've been Trumped, suckers." So they're going to get the point. Let me tell you something. And they're going to pay for it, frankly. They're going to pay for the whole thing. It's really, really going to be amazing.
Okay. I gotta let the cat out of the bag. We're not really visiting with Donald Trump right now, but it sounds exactly like him. Visiting with John Di Domenico. How are you doing, sir?
Good, John. How are you?
Fantastic. I got to just say, you do an amazing job of becoming Donald Trump, because when I listened to you just now as we were talking, you sound just like the guy. Now, you've been doing the Donald Trump impersonation for quite some time, haven't you?
For 12 years, right before right at the end of the very first season of The Apprentice. By the way, #1 rated reality show ever. Absolutely incredible, I have to tell you.
And I watched that. It was a great show.
Oh, it was a really great show. I'd always been a fan of Trump, and I'd gotten a call for a voiceover on a Friday, and they said, "Hey, I was always like a go-to guy for kind of tough voices in the New York and Philadelphia area, and and I also do anything, like, hey, dress up like a polar bear. Okay, I'll do it." I love those type of guys. We call them a frisbee catcher in my business. But one of my agents called me and said, "Hey, there's a voiceover on Monday for Trump. Can you do it?" And I was like, "Oh God, Trump." I said, "He's not really in my wheelhouse." I said, "Can you give me like an hour to see if I can actually try to get it?" And I sat down and I did some quick research, and no one at the time was doing it. Like 12 years ago, there was Phil Hartman. He had done it on SNL a few times, but there really wasn't anyone else. So I ran out and bought the first season of The Apprentice, which had come out on DVD, and I spent the entire weekend, like 30 hours, listening to every single episode of The Apprentice, and I broke his voice down by throat placement, nasal placement, vocal production, cadence, and all those things you do as an impressionist to figure out where a voice is coming from and how it's manufactured by that person.
And you do an amazing job, not just as Donald Trump, but all of the characters that you do. I was on your website. It is amazing how spot on you are. And the funny thing is, you don't just sound like these people. You somehow change the look of your face to look like these people as well.
Yes. That's my specialty, is to really just inhabit the person. I was trained as an actor, and for me, it's got to be a complete and total transformation. You know, so if I'm doing Austin Powers, baby, it's going to be the complete physicality. You know what I mean?
And now, do you ever get lost in the middle of this, the real John Di Domenico? Do you ever wake up and go, who am I really? Because I'm all these other people, too.
Isn't that the oldest question for mankind? Like, who am I? No, unfortunately, I never do get lost, because all of my bills and my mortgage payment is addressed to me. So it kind of wakes me up when they come in the mail. But, I travel a lot. I'm on the road about 25, 30 weeks a year performing. So there are those occasions when I wake up in a hotel room and I have no idea where I am.
Well, you were mentioning mortgage payment. I'm assuming when Donald Trump started running for office, you absolutely positively had to see an increase in business. It's probably a little easier to pay the bills these days. Are you as busy as I think you are?
Oh yeah, I'm working pretty much all the time now. It's been incredible, but it didn't happen at first. And during the last election cycle, there was a little bit of a bump when he was toying with the idea of running. And when this happened, when he announced June 16th last year, it's kind of like one of those things like, where were you June 16th, 2015? So I can plainly remember, and my Facebook page blew up, and my Twitter, and my phone, and people were just, oh my God, dude, you're set for life. And I said, hold on, let's see what happens, because he had dropped out last time.
Yeah.
And that first month, I was starting to get phone calls, and things were starting to happen slowly. And then he made the John McCain comments.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that was a good month. that went down like a balloon. But then, as we all know, the opposite happened. His numbers started going up and going up and going up. And what I said was to my friends who were asking, what do you think? And you're going to be able to leverage this. I said, if he can make it to the very first debate, I'll be good for the fall.
Yeah.
Because that'll put him on that, that'll get him out there. It'll legitimize him as a politician. And we all know, not only did he do the first debate, he crushed the first debate, the second debate, the third debate. And as he kept going, I kept getting more and more calls. I ended up on Conan O'Brien. I'm the Donald Trump for Conan O'Brien. I'm the Donald Trump for Fox Red Eye, which is a kind of a humorous news panel show. I've been on there about 20 different times. I'm the voice of Donald Trump for Slate.com's Trumpcast. I've done a ton of voiceover commercials. I did a commercial for 360 Fly, which is about Trump unveiling the wall about a year from now. That's got millions and millions of hits. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've shared that on Facebook myself. I the first time I saw it, I laughed because, first of all, you did a spot-on impression of Donald Trump. So I believe that might actually be how I first discovered you and how, because I started on this mission just 2 weeks ago. But if that wasn't the first thing I saw, it was very close to it. But then when I was watching it, it was a well-written and very funny, as far as commercials go, very funny commercial as well. And it really... And
big, and very big in scale, too. I was kind of blown away.
Unbelievable. Usually you see a commercial for a product, there may be 2 or 3 people in the ad. But this, that was quite a production. And I don't know how they made that wall. It looks real. Everything looks like that's really happening.
Directly behind me, they literally had built a set piece that was the wall. That middle section really is real.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And it was huge. And let me tell you, it was huge, really, really big. And then beyond that, as far as the eye could see, they did green screen, but was the same height. So they were able to project that in. But all the news vans, all the people, all that was real. It was quite. I was like, wow. I've worked on movies, I've worked on television, but this was like one of the biggest things I'd ever been on.
Now, where was that located? Where was the filming done?
That was shot in Simi Valley at what's called the Movie Ranch. They do a lot of TV shows there, a lot of movies there. It's part of where they did MASH, shows like that.
Nice. On the phone right now with John Di Domenico, and he is an impersonation. I don't know what you call it exactly. What do you? An impersonator? Is that what you call it?
Well, I'm an impersonator. Impressionist is just the voice. Impersonator is kind of the full body. I like to think of myself as an extreme impersonator because I go to the nth degree to get everything exactly right. Like my Trump wigs are all custom made, and I'm wearing real Trump ties and the suits and the shoes and blue contacts, and I try to really nail it. And I practice every single day.
I was flipping through the channels the other day, and I saw, I don't even remember what the channel was or what the show was, but they had a terrible, terrible Trump impersonator. And all I could think of is, why didn't they call Johnny D? I mean, this guy could have taken care of these people because you do such an amazing job. Now, if people listening right now are saying, I absolutely want to hire this guy to come do an event, how do they find you? How do they get a hold of you? How does all of that happen?
So you can go to my website, johnnyd.net, which is JOHNNYD.net, and you can fill out the form there. That goes directly to the agents, my agents, key artist group that represent me, and they take care of all my bookings, and I'm on the road constantly. I just did 5 cities in a row. I'm going back to L.A. to shoot some more stuff. I have some other things coming up for one of the cable networks. So I'm constantly working, but my main bread and butter is corporate.
Nice.
So that's my main thing. I go in, and I'm going to Vancouver on Friday to roast the CEO of a Canadian real estate company. So Trump's perfect for that.
Nice.
So, and I was just there for another huge company. I can't mention the company name, but the CEO is moving from Canada to the U.S., so we did a whole thing about the birth certificate and him coming down here and running the company. So we had a lot of fun with that. So Trump's a great character. He makes it really easy. He's creating new material every single day. And usually my act runs anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes. It can be any size. I mean, whatever anybody wants. But I try to make it as interactive and as fun, and I always customize it to the group so it's really memorable. And I mention a lot of people, and I roast a bunch of people during the course of it.
So what are some of the more unusual requests that you have gotten since Donald Trump put his name on a ballot? I'm assuming like we said before, I know you've been busy. I knew you would be because you're such an amazingly talented guy. But what are some of the more bizarre requests that you've had people ask you to do as Trump?
Oh, it's for the corporate stuff's pretty much the same in commercials and things like that. But we've had people. The most unusual one was for an event, and they wanted Trump in a dunk tank. And they said, yeah, we're going to have you as, people be throwing stuff and you'll be dropping into the water and it'll be really funny and you can yell, you're fired. And I was like, are you kidding me? You want me to put on like a $1,500 suit and a $4,000 wig and you want to sink me?
Yeah.
I was like, not going to happen. Not going to happen.
That would be fun.
They're like, oh, yeah, your suit's going to get wet. And these people had really wanted to hire me to do this. I was just kind of blown away.
Well, you probably could have found a way to do it. Maybe if you had a swimming suit with dollar signs on it, and could have put like one of those little shower cap things on over any kind of wig.
God. That's hilarious.
Again, visiting right now with John Di Domenico, and he is an amazing impersonator of Donald Trump. If you've not yet seen his work, you got to go check it out. We've got it on our website, politicalstorm.com, and we've got links on our Facebook page as well, so you can go check it out there. But very, very good work. It's been a lot of fun to visit with you. Now, I'm assuming that you're hoping that Donald Trump becomes president, because then you've pretty much got it made for the rest of your life. But what happens if he doesn't become president? Do you think that's going to change the amount of requests, or do you think it's going to keep up either way?
I think it's going to, honestly, Donald Trump is not going anywhere. In these last 4 years, you'll notice that he was always in the news every 2 weeks, sometimes even more. And, he doesn't really have at that point, he has no political, he's not a former senator or this. It is amazing how much press he gets for just who he is. So if he doesn't get elected for some reason, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
He's not, and in fact, I think the election will probably be pretty close. Actually, I take that back. I'm on the road a great deal, and everyone I come in contact with, and this is anecdotal, of course, but everybody I meet is saying they're voting for Trump.
Yeah.
98%. I'll have people, lean over to me like, I don't like you, but my kids do, so I just want to get a photo with you, that kind of thing. But I've had CEOs and CFOs and, heads of major companies will do a photo op after my event, and they'll lean in and say, hey, I'm voting for you. So I think people are going to be surprised. If for some reason he doesn't win, Trump even said himself he's a whiner. So he will whine until he wins. And he'll, you know, if he doesn't want to be, listen, you know what? This election was rigged. It was terrible. These were bad numbers. These are horrible numbers, I have to tell you. All of this voting equipment is just terrible. It's outdated. It's outmoded. We've got to do the whole thing over again. I don't care how much it costs. It's got to be done. So, you know, he will not go quietly into that good night. So that only benefits me. So if he wins, I win. If he doesn't win, I'm still going to get a decent amount of time out of it.
That's awesome.
But it would be incredible for me at this stage of the game to have him win and to know that, wow, 4 years of work is pretty much guaranteed. And a buddy of mine is Reggie Brown, and he's like the top Obama impersonator, and he's just had an amazing 8-year run from TV appearances to commercials to everything else, and working internationally. Because obviously, you know, we look at the president here as the leader of our country, but he's the leader of the free world, and the world doesn't matter who the U.S. president is. He will be embraced globally.
So, have you had a chance to meet the real Donald J. Trump yet?
Yes, I did his 55th birthday party as Austin Powers. I jumped out of a cake.
So you jumped out of a cake at his birthday party?
I jumped out of a cake. It was Atlantic. It was the Atlantic City, the castle, which was run by Ivana. And it was his 55th birthday party, and I was hired, and there were a lot of local celebrities. And I remember the cast from The Sopranos was there, and I had a whole bit where I jumped out of a cake. I gave him a gift of either 12 or 24 models. I forget exactly. We all went up on stage. We did a big kick line. At the very end, we did a little patter on stage, and that was it.
That's really cool.
That's my Trump story, yeah. And my first Donald Trump wig, the very first one going back to 2004, 2005, was actually from the Visa commercial that Donald Trump did. This was the wig of his stand-in, of his body double.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating, it's kind of incredible that I was able to get my hands on it.
Well, I'm really excited that we had a chance to finally catch up, because I feel like a bit of a stalker. You know, when I first saw that very first piece that I saw online, then I was searching for your name, and I was Googling you and looking up all this stuff. And in addition to Donald Trump, you do a bunch of other spot-on impressions. So it's absolutely fascinating to visit with you as yourself and as Donald Trump. And who knows, maybe we'll get a chance to chat again in the future. It's been a lot of fun to chat so far.
John, it's been absolutely incredible. It's really, really been amazing. And I have to tell you, your ratings after this are going to be absolutely incredible. They're going to go through the roof. You're going to be really, really huge.
Again, Donald J. Trump right there. And John Di Domenico. Again, thank you so much for chatting with us. It's been a whole lot of fun.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. It was a blast. Thanks, John.
Again, our guest today has been John Di Domenico. His website, once again, is johnnyd.net. Thank you so much for listening to PoliticalStorm.com. I'm John Small.
This is Donald Trump. You're listening to PoliticalStorm.com. If you don't listen, you're fired. Let me tell you, it's huge.